Charlie Kirk is gone, but is he? See, the thing that people don't realize about Charlie Kirk is his entire organization and his whole shtick, the whole thing that he does, is he goes to college campuses and talks to people, right? That's what they think. Well, yeah, that's the manifestation of it. But in all reality, it's so much deeper than that. That his entire message was to have real conversations, but with the end goal of bringing people to Christ. That he says things like Christ died so that we can live again. That's his whole ordeal. That's his whole thing, is he wants to lead people to the feet of Christ. And so if you're a Christian and watching this and freaking out, breaking down because of this Charlie Kirk situation, I get it. It's devastating even for me. But if you even believe that at all, that Christ came to rescue us, then Charlie Kirk is in a whole heck of a lot better place today than he was 48 hours ago, 12 hours ago. And there's some peace in that. But also on top of that, Charlie Kirk didn't just talk with people. He didn't just start a business, start an organization. Like he created a movement, such a vast movement, that if not for his movement joining forces with the Trump administration on their campaign, Trump may not be in office right now, for better or worse. But he had a movement. He had people behind him, changed lives. That just doesn't die with a physical body being killed. This continues on. Charlie Kirk may be gone, but no, he's not. See, there's this narrative from the left right now surrounding this whole thing that they won. They took down, they're on the road to winning. Oh, what's next? Oh, what's happening? This is such a great thing. Is something happening right now? That's their attitude. They think they won. They didn't win anything. They created an even bigger monster they have to face. They were facing Goliath before, now they're facing God himself. Though Charlie Kirk is gone, and they took down Charlie Kirk and they killed Charlie Kirk, they just raised up 1 million more Charlie Kirks in his place. And I'm one of them. This isn't the end of Charlie Kirk. He goes on and on and on, right? I remember way back when I discovered Charlie Kirk. He was debating in some courtroom or something, I believe. I saw it on Facebook, and he was a nobody. This was like 2013 or 2014 or sometime around that era. Like, when I didn't know anything about politics. I didn't know anything about beliefs and values. It's just sort of what I happened to hear from mom or happened to hear from dad or the person at school or whatever was going on or TV shows, right? But I remember thinking, this guy is sharp. This guy's intelligent. He's articulate. He knows what he's saying. And he says it with conviction. Like, who is this guy? And then I remember roughly around the time that Trump was campaigning in 2016, Charlie started to get a little bit of traction and support for Trump. And, I think that's when a lot of people started waking up to him, and even me. Like, I knew of Charlie Kirk and I followed him, watched his videos once in a while, but that's when I really started to gather who he is and know what he's really all about. And about the midway point between the 2016 election, really around the 2020 election and onward, is when it really, I knew who he was, and I'm like, this guy is incredible. Like, he's the guy that I go to when there's news, when there's major events that happen. He's the guy I go to every single time. And then especially in this 2024 election campaign, I firmly believe that if he didn't join forces with the Trump administration and their campaign, Donald Trump may not be the U.S. president right now. Like, I'm that convicted on that he was picking up steam in a way that I can't really say any other conservative media outlet, conservative voice, conservative activist. So you say, I just can't think of anyone else that compares. And I know he said that he wouldn't run for president, that he's got everything he needs, but I firmly believe that at some point he very well was going to become president down the road when the moment was right and it really called for it. He had that kind of steam, and I think if he did try to go for it, he was going to be president. Like, there's no ifs, ands, buts. He's got the backing unlike anything I've ever seen other than Donald Trump. That's about it. Or Jesus Christ himself. Like, he had all the steam in the world. And you think you took that from him? Left-leaning people out there, people who are crazy, excited about this, celebrating. You didn't win anything. You didn't take that down. You just passed it on to the next hands. The legacy didn't end. It continues on. And that's with people like me taking that up. And there's going to be way more. I see so many people who are rising up in arms, not physical arms, because this isn't a war of flesh and blood. This is a war of spiritual forces, principalities, evils, like the scripture says. This isn't against the left and the right. And in a sense it is, because all of these shootings come from the left. And so you're right just to point at the left and say, look at all these trans activists that are killing innocent kids at schools. Look at what happened with Luigi Mannioni. Look at what's happening with Charlie Kirk and the shooting. Like, look at all the people. Like, there's even studies, which I'll see if I can find sources for to put. I just saw them earlier today, that show that assassination culture or celebration of ending people for political violence, it's on the rise on the left specifically. And so in a sense, this is a left thing. And from a worldly, fleshly perspective, this is about the world. This is about people. But in a deeper sense, this is about the spirits that are behind that. What sort of principalities are there? What evil forces are behind all of it? It's not just the people. The people are just pawns. They're just pawns in that game from the enemy. And so you call me crazy, call me a conspiracy theorist, call me a religious nut, okay? But there are evil spirits that are taking control of this entire situation and trying to do what they can, but they're not going to win. We need to be fighting against those things first and foremost, and then worry about the left versus right. The left versus right matters. But it's time we take up arms against those things. It's not physical arms. I'm not saying, we go to war and shoot people like them, like the ones we're trying to argue and fight against. We don't fight fire with fire. We don't do that. That's crazy. Instead, we need to be talking about it. We need to not shut up, that we won't be silent on this. And if it comes to some crazy circumstances and like life-ending situations, we got to do what we got to do. That's all I'll say on that. I'm not promoting physical active violence. But if your back is up against a wall, what do you do? Where do you run? We're not going to be silent. This is a new wave, a new generation. I'm only a few years, I think I'm 6 years younger than Charlie. Charlie's 31. He died at the age of 31 today. I'm 25. Technically another generation. That generation isn't going to be silent. A new generation is raised up beneath him. We're not going to shut up. We're not going to be quiet. We're not going to be silent. This situation today is crazy. Like, I don't think people realize how big of a deal this actually is. This is breaking the internet. This is breaking the world right now. This isn't just another person dead. This is life-altering for half the world. Charlie Kirk wasn't just another random so-and-so. He was literally on board with the presidential campaign, the reason he won. He's growing so quickly. He was getting so much steam being on South Park and a million other places. So much steam there that the world wasn't ready for it. I don't think people realize just who Charlie Kirk was. He was shaping up to be something so much greater than he even was. Today is a turning point for the USA. It's time we change the narrative.